Hi, my friends. Welcome to Story Time with Mrs. T. I am so glad you're all here today to read some stories. We've got some good ones today, but first, let's get our wiggles out. Here we go. If you're ready for some stories, clap your hands. If you're ready for some stories, clap your hands. If you're ready for some stories, put your hands in the air and shake 'em, shake 'em, shake 'em here and there. If you're ready for some stories, say hooray, hooray! If you're ready for some stories, say hooray, hooray! I think you're ready for some stories, so let's go, go, go. I think you're ready for some stories, so let's go. The title of our first story is called Hello, America. Hello, America, come take my hand. Let's travel together to see this great land. Lady Liberty greets us with her torch held up high, a symbol of welcome for all who pass by. Native Americans were here all along. Let's hear their stories and join them in song. A long time ago, pilgrims crossed the wide sea to start a new life where they could be free. Our country's a place where freedom rings true. Let's shout out 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. We'll have a big party and we'll wave our flag high till it's America's birthday on the 4th of July. Washington, D.C. is a fun place to explore. It's our nation's capital. Let's take a tour. Load up your backpack. Get ready to go. Adventuresome spirits helped America grow. We can be rangers. We can make it our duty to protect special places of wonder and beauty. America's landscape is varied and vast. One coast to the other, we'll have such a blast. We'll climb up tall mountains and swim in the sea, hike through the desert and hug a big tree. Let's hit a home run. 3 cheers for our team. It's the great USA. You can follow your dream. America's journey will be up to you. You're part of its history and her story too. And that is the end. In our story, boys and girls, we talked about the colors of America, which is red, white, and blue. So down here, I've got some red pieces, some white pieces, and some blue pieces. So let's see if we can find some blue. Is that blue? No, it's not. How about this one? No. This one is blue. Good job, my friends. This is a big blue triangle. Now let's see if we can find some red. Let me go around and around. I found a red square. Wow, now let's see if we can find some white. I see a big white square and a small white square. There's a small white square and a big white square. Now let's see if we can make a pattern with these pieces. Let's move them away and let's do 1 blue piece and 1 red piece. What do you think comes next? A blue piece. Let's see if they'll stick together. They will. Now, a red piece is next. So we have blue, red, and I think blue is next. Let's do 1 more piece. What do you think it should be, boys and girls? You're right. I think it needs to be the red. So now we have a pattern. We've got blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. What color's missing? It's the white. Let's put a white right here. Okay, so now we know our colors. Red, white, and blue. Good job, my friends. The title of our second story is The Night Before the 4th of July. 'Twas the night before July 4th, and all across the USA, Americas were gearing up for Independence Day. Mom tied up the bunting while I gave Dad a hand. We hung up the flag from our porch stand. That night we both slept sprawled out in our beds while visions of fireworks popped in our heads. The next morning we dressed in red, white, and blue. I even wore stars, 1 on each shoe. We lined up on Main Street. Look, here comes the parade floats. Hooray for the marching band and the 4-H club goats. The mare tossed candy. I shouted, "Here, here!" And Uncle Sam, walking on stilts, brought up the rear. Friends and family came over for our backyard barbecue. Dad fired up the grill as a storm started to brew. The goodies were set on the picnic table with care. "Get 'em while they're hot," hollered Dad, flipping burgers in the air. But just when we sat down, it started to pour. "Grab the food," shouted Mom. And we ran through the door. In the hot dogs, in salads, in blueberry pie, in melon and corn. Keep those potato chips dry. We gathered in the kitchen and spilled into the hall. "Squeeze in," said Mom. "There's room for us all." As we munched on our food, Grandma turned to Grandpop. "There'll be no fireworks show if the rain doesn't stop." "What?" we all shouted. "No rockets, red glare? 4th of July without fireworks? That's totally not fair." When to our wondering eyes should appear, with the rain suddenly stopping, the sky was now clear. We piled in the car and we drove to the park. We threw down a blanket as it began to grow dark. Dad lit the sparklers. We drew circles in the air. We snapped glow sticks on our wrists and glow halos in our hair. The first firework was launched high into the night. It bloomed like a flower, exploding with light. Whiz, crackle, boom, woohoo, cheered the crowd. But my brother covered his ears and whimpered, "That's too loud." The band played the national anthem. Dad sang, "Oh, say, can you see?" Then when I covered my ears because it was out of key. And now the grand finale. Wow, the best I've ever seen. A sky filled with color. I'll never forget. The last firework fizzled like fairy dust into the sky. We all cheered and shouted, "Happy 4th of July." And that's the end. That's all we have time for today, my friends. So let's sing a goodbye song. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye for now, my friends. So long, farewell, until we meet again. Bye-bye for now.